Bonjour à tous, bienvenue sur l'œil d'Ophidia. Aujourd'hui, on est évidemment très heureux avec Pedro. Salut Pedro, parce que
Salut Romain.
au milieu, regardez, à notre, c'est à ma gauche et à ma droite et à la droite de Pedro, il y a quelqu'un qui s'appelle Chris Bewley qui travaille à LSS. Nice to meet you, Chris. Very happy to see
Bonjour,
you.
bonne nuit. Hello. Nice to
Hello.
meet you guys
Yeah, you
too.
can say bonjour or bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Yeah.
Ah, oui.
So it's the
Thank you,
evening for
merci.
us, and I think it's the morning, early in the morning for Chris. So Chris, for the people at home that don't necessarily know you, maybe they've seen your name somewhere on the LSS website. Can you tell us in a few words, or as many words as you want actually, what you do? What's your role? What's your actual role in the LSS organigram?
Oh, cool. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Loel Defidia. Loel
Yeah.
Defidia.
That's
L'œil de
pretty
Thank you
good.
fidèle.
very
That's
much,
pretty good.
Peter and Romain,
Yeah.
for having me. Yeah, Chris Bewley, and I'm the content manager for Legend Story Studios, and that means I do a lot of writing. So I do every Friday. I'm doing a kind of what has happened this week. What's
Mm-hmm.
the latest article? I do a little bit of event coverage, but I
Yeah.
don't do the full coverage. Sometimes I'll just do a quick snapshot. I have the exciting privilege, responsibility, and fear of taking care of the preview seasons when those come around for a new set. And I get to work. One of the most exciting spaces of my job is a lot of the video content. Working with content creators like yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
working with coverage teams like yourselves. But yeah, I get to do awesome stuff with people in the video space, and lots of writing and articles. And I get to connect with a lot of players and content creators also. So a little bit of everything is what I do. Yeah.
So how did you come to work at LSS? Have you always been a car gamer? Is that one of your passions? Is that your dream job? Or did you come by accident into the business?
I know
What's your
why. I know why Roman is asking that because it would be his dream job
Yeah, because
to
that's
have,
actually
to
my,
have
my
your
dream
job.
job. So how
Yeah.
can I do what you do? Tell us. Show me the
Mm.
way, Chris.
Well, oh yeah, this is the way. I remember. So both a dream job and an accident, and just crazy, I don't know, twist of fate,
Yeah.
serendipity,
Mm-hmm.
destino. I don't know. So I have played card games since I was about 12 years old, and I watched this exciting, amazing TV show. It was about a young boy who had the spirit of ancient Egypt
Oh,
inside of his
yeah.
heart. But anytime he would play a card game, he would follow the heart of the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mhm.
Is what first got me. I
Mhm.
have the Millennium Puzzle
All right. That's a
next
real
to
fan.
my
Yeah,
harmonized Kodachi. So the Millennium Puzzle, Yu-Gi-Oh! The TV show got me, and then I went to the game shop in my small
Okay,
hometown at the bottom of the
cool.
South Island of New Zealand. Yu-Gi-Oh! Got me. I started playing that. I've started watching TV shows, and then people at the local game shop they were playing some other card games, which Pedro has a very strong affinity for. Well, in the past, maybe. I started playing a little bit of Magic, of
Okay.
course. Started playing a lot of that. But it was Versus System, which really, really got me. It was
Oh,
a Marvel
nice.
Comics and DC sort of game
Yeah.
because I really, really, really love comics. Marvel
Oh,
Comics particularly.
we'll go back to that
Um,
later. So let me make a mental note
yeah,
to come back to that because I have so many questions to ask you. Okay.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna put a segue in my own answer to split
Okay.
off there. The dream job. My first dream job when I was maybe 4 years old was to be a Marvel comic artist.
Oh.
So when I was about 4 years old, every day just drawing Wolverine and X-Men and Cyclops. So that started my love for Marvel and comics and games. And then I started playing these card games, some Marvel, some fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was the Versus System card game in my hometown was quite small, not many tournaments. So I traveled up the country around New Zealand to play in a pre-release, or maybe in a 10K Grand Prix or the calling size tournament. And that was when I started. That was when I met James White, and he was running tournaments for almost every competitive card game you could imagine. So James, always taking the initiative, being creative and doing the work, was organizing these tournaments around the country. And I was this kid from the bottom of the South Island. I loved the games so much. I got on a bus and I traveled for 8 hours on a bus for a pre-release.
That's passion.
Yeah. So that was approximately sort of 15 years ago. I'm 35 now. So I was traveling New Zealand, playing card games, and I first met James. And then from there, I continued to play card games. And James and I became friends. And from there, time went past. And during all of that time, between age 15 to 35, I was working in bars and cafes and restaurants. And then at the later half, I was an academic English teacher for international language learners. So fast forward up to 2021, I went to China to work as a teacher. I had a few challenges there with my job and with my company in China. And when I was having these challenges and these problems, when I thought maybe I don't have a house or a job here in China alone, suddenly James messaged me and he said, "Hey bro, how's China going?" And I said, "Oh, it's so good. I'm learning about myself. I'm discovering who I am. All these challenges make me stronger." And then a couple days later, I messaged him. I said, because he's a busy guy, and I thought, why is he messaging me? It was great. And then I said, did you just want to have a conversation? Or he said, "Oh, wow, if you want, there's a position here." And my time in China was very, very challenging. So I got on the plane and I came back to New Zealand about 1 year ago, approximately today. And here we are in my dream job, which was also an accident.
So it's actually your dream job. You've come to realize it now. You've not,
Yeah.
Did you know what the game was about before you started working? Did you know about it? Had you played it before, or did you come into the game at the same time as you arrived at the company?
That's a great question. I feel a bit guilty. I didn't go to the pre-release Flesh and Blood world premiere, but I went to the official pre-release, but there was like an event before the pre-release. Oh, I think there was an IRA starter deck, everybody plays IRA tournament. And I didn't go to that. But I did go to the Welcome to Wrath pre-release. And the bro sitting on my right was my good friend Sam. He opened the world's first Viandao spring tunic. And I remember he opened it up. He said, "Oh, this is a legendary." And he said to one of the game developers who was in the room, "Is this good?" And now I don't know the price of a cold foil Viandao spring tunic. Pretty good.
That's a real treasure.
It's a lot, right? I went to the first pre-release, and then I started a little online store, a web store called fleshandbloodsingles.com. And so I had one of the first sort of Flesh and Blood singles websites. And I had my left kidney removed. Couldn't really go to the post office. So I finished up that shop, and then I went to South Korea to live and work as a language teacher. And
that's an interesting life.
I
can say so. That's a
a
lot of adventures.
And that's just 2 years.
That's what I meant. In such a short time, that's a lot of things for only one person.
And do you play a lot, Flesh and Blood? Do you
Yeah,
have
it's
time to
Do you
play?
have time? Yeah.
I laugh about it. It's funny because I think it's a testament of how amazing the game is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work 8 hours or so. Um, Everything's flesh and blood. I'm writing, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing data entry, or I'm meeting with people. And then in my lunch break, I will like get my cards and make some deck I was thinking about. And then after work, I'll either play games with my flatmates. So I live with three people. They
Mm-hmm.
all play Flesh and Blood. We'll finish work and we'll just play Flesh and Blood at home. Or we'll go to the armory. There's about 20 different armories on every night in Auckland. It's amazing. So yeah, we work it. We do lunchtime after work. I dream about it. Yeah, never
which
gets old.
which
I love
hero
it.
do you play? What kind of player are you? Are you more a control
Ah,
player
yeah.
or an aggro player or combo player? Are you the kind of guy who always takes Ara to armories to win and to crush other people?
Well, I'm in a, I can definitely answer that, but I'm in a funny spot because I'm not allowed to play anything above a skirmish as a,
Oh yeah.
full-time
Mm-hmm.
employee. So, I have not lost my competitive fire, but I know that if I put like 100 hours of practice into a classic constructed hero, I don't really have a goal for that. But I like to. You probably heard of there's a fantastic player out there. They call him Mr. Classic. Well, people they often call me Blitz Bewley. So I love the Blitz format. And my favorite hero and deck and strategy of all time in Flesh and Blood is Benji the Piercing Wind.
Oh nice.
Um, Aggro with a almost draw your deck, one turn kill combo finish. That's my favorite deck that's ever been in Flesh and Blood. Um, Outside of that, I would say I'm probably just like a all-in aggro player. I love putting the pressure on the opponent. I like to watch them sweat and shake a bit. And if they make one mistake on their block, it's over.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
exactly how,
yeah, I
how
like to
Benji
play.
works now. With Spring Tidings,
Ah,
if they don't block well, it's over for them.
yeah, and I feel bad for for people that have not practiced against Benji
Yeah,
because I went to two skirmishes in the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and some people had never played against Benji,
yeah.
and I just attack, bring tidings, and they say okay, and I get another one, and they put their head in their hands and they look down, and I draw 11 cards, and I feel bad, but that's probably my favorite deck. Catch
Did you
them by
like
surprise.
did you like Benji before Spring Tidings or
It was
I
harder to
liked
play
the
before Spring Tidings. Yeah.
yeah, well, I liked the hero, but I didn't really love the deck. I like the explosivity. I like the you make one mistake, you did.
Yeah.
Romain, did you say what did I play before, Benji?
Well,
yeah?
that's also my question. Yeah. What did you?
What did I play before? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a really really big Leviah fan.
Oh yeah.
So I was usually playing one of Ethan Van Sant, as they call him, Man
Manson.
Sant
Yeah.
on the YouTube. I usually play one of his brilliant Leviah decks. Um, but now it's basically Benji all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Can you
I think that's a deck that really rewards practice
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of intricacies that people might not see unless they really practice Benji. And I really do believe with a little bit of time and practice, he is one of the best possible
Yeah.
decks this skirmish season. Yeah.
Yeah, I built it too because once you basically gave us Spring Tidings to preview, we were like, okay, so at some point I know I'm gonna have to play Benji. So as soon as I could, I bought all the cards from Everfest that I needed to build a deck because there's also other cards you need. And now I'm trying to play it, and it's not as easy as people think. it's really tough to manage the lines of play and to make sure that spectating hits, because people that know how it works, they're never gonna use their armor or their equipment to block before spectating. So it's not as easy to play, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really rewarding
Yeah.
when you do sort of go off.
Yeah.
You said that you are playing at your lunch break. Can you give us a little view on behind the curtain? Are you all working in the same offices with the game developers and James White and all the, I don't know, 50 people in the company? I don't know how many you are right now. Or is it because of the COVID, everyone is working from home? Can you tell, what can
Yeah,
you tell us?
I'm working from home. I think I've been at home since maybe January the 10th
Oh.
this year. And at the end of last year, it was 5 months in the bedroom also. Um, so there, at the moment, there are very few. We have as few people as possible in the office,
Okay.
just to reduce
Yeah.
any chance of anybody being sick. Of course, the supply chains around the world are difficult enough. So yeah, basically, at the moment, there are as few people as possible in the office. So my games at lunchtime are with my other flatmates who are also working from home. Yeah.
But when you work from the office, people play during lunch break, and have you the chance to play against the developers?
Well, sort of. So of course, the developers, they'll have their own sort of lunch or timetable or schedule or something like that. And so I won't really play. I can't remember the last time I played a game against a developer sort of in the office. I might play against them randomly at an armory, or if they come to visit me, because I'm friends with a lot of them, like close friends with a lot of them. And yeah, the games that I'll play at lunchtime might be against one of the sort of shipping or operations managers, or it might be who else have I played against? Oh, I played a pretty good game against one of our social media content team members the other day. They kicked my ass, but yeah, we don't. It's been so long since I've been in the office, so I think one of the other mini Chris's at the office
Yeah.
is someone. I think we played some Lavaya versus Reinar Blitz
Oh,
lunchtime battle.
that's
I
gotta have.
last
Yeah.
remember.
It's gotta be a brutal match.
Yeah. Oh.
How do you choose which content creators you're gonna work with? Or I mean, what's the most important aspect of their work you look for when you decide if you're going to give them a preview card or some exclusive information? What's how do you approach them, and what do you look for?
That's an awesome question. You know, a lot of people ask me that, whether it's personally or through some email, and it's a really good. It's a yeah. So, we think okay. So if it's for perhaps a preview season card,
Yeah.
um, with each preview season, it's been a little bit different as
Mm-hmm.
far as the length of time for the preview season. I think I have worked on two previous seasons myself. And um, the Tales of Aria season I worked on was shorter than the Monarch one before,
Yeah.
and then the Everfest season was even shorter than that. So first we'll look at sort of how long and how big and how many cards we have to give out,
Mm-hmm.
and usually, we do look for a spread or a split of different regions. You know, we want to make sure that Europe has some exciting cards from some exciting people,
Mm-hmm.
and the same for the other regions and areas that we're currently
Yeah.
working in at the moment. Um, when it comes down to each specific particular card, let's say we have the list of the content creators. Let's say, okay, yep, there's DM Armada, there's Red Zone Rogue, there's
Mm.
Noel De Fidia, and maybe we know that Red Zone Rogue loves Ranger cards.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll look for a Ranger card, and we
Give him
know
a
that
bow.
they're on the
Yeah.
list. Give them one,
A
and
bow. Right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think he got Dreadpaw
Yeah,
last
that's
time.
it. Yeah.
And Spring Tidings with Loel Defidia. I really like that card, and I really like you guys. So I don't know how that
Yeah,
one happened.
that's actually no. We were so happy when we got a majestic this time, because the first time it was like okay, nobody knows us, so we know we can have maybe not the best card in the set. So we knew that, and we were so happy to be selected to give out and to reveal a preview. But when we saw the majestic, we were so excited. I think you remember, Pedro, when you show it to us, the excitement in our room. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
because I wasn't like you. I was already a fan of Benji before Spring Tidings. So when I saw the Benji specialization, I was like a kid. I was so happy, and it was exactly what Benji missed to
Yeah,
become a good
that's
deck.
what he needed. Yeah,
Yeah.
It
Card's
was crazy.
crazy. Yeah, I can't believe the card.
yeah, that's an
Yeah.
So
insane
good.
card.
And we, of course, I get a lot of emails saying like, how can I get a preview card? Or like, how can I take my
Yeah.
content to that next level
Mm-hmm.
to get preview cards, things like that. And it's a combination of things. There's no 100% fixed rubric or
Yeah.
metrics, pun intended, to give that or to connect with that. But things that we do look at are things like the visual production, the sound, the graphics. Do you have beautiful art, some overlays, maybe some little pop ups? Visual production and presentation is something that we look for, and of course, not every content creator is also a professional sound technician and also a professional graphics video editor. And I know that it can be really challenging and tough. So we look for beautiful production, but not only that. If there's somebody that's creating really engaging, interesting content and the visual production is not perfect, that's okay. Maybe we'll work with that partner. Of course, I kind of try to look for things that are original or different, very, very, but they're also very useful and something new or different or refreshing in the content creation space. There's a large section of pack and box openings. Um, it's a very busy space, I think, for a lot of content creation.
Yeah.
So yeah, people that are doing something different or original, that will get my attention. So that's something new, original, different. The video production, sound production. Um, yeah, it's hard to sort of
Yeah,
put my
yeah, I
finger
guess.
on.
But who takes the decisions now? Because I guess the company is getting bigger by the minute, every minute. But who takes the decisions and says, okay, we have to reach the French community, so let's give these guys at Lloyd Ophidia a James White interview. Do you decide, or do you have a brainstorming team, or is James deciding for everybody else? How does it work?
It would be, I'd say, some combination between team discussion and collaboration, and yeah, and of course, James would give the green light or the tick
Mm-hmm.
on something like that. But yeah, we have. It's a very, very amazing place to work and be. There's lots of collaboration, lots of teamwork, and
Yeah.
this beautiful, empowering sense of trust as well. So a lot of the time, I might have some ideas or some suggestions, and I'll put that forward to the team above me, and they'll say yes, no, or change this sort of thing. And yeah, teamwork, but James is the boss.
What kind of boss is he? Is he like really intense? Does he like to take charge or to delegate all the decisions to the people around him? What kind of guy is he in the job? Because we've interviewed him, so we know he's a great guy. But how is he at work?
Yeah, sometimes you can see one side of a person,
Yeah.
and then maybe at work they're different. But the amazing thing about James is he is almost always the same person, which is a person of genuineness, sincerity, passion, and whether that's in a, I don't know, some type of friend or interview environment or as a boss, the themes and the sort of traits that I see come through that are the same no matter what are the things um, like an amazing leader. A good leader will go first and inspire people to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
And a bad boss will say, "You go that way," or "You do this." And of course, James is that former,
Mm-hmm.
the lead by example, and very empowering. Gives a lot of trust, a lot of motivation, and I think one of the awesome things about the LSS team is um, everybody is very, very motivated, driven, and good at what they do. And I think it's a lot sort of just trust, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like, okay, you guys know what you need to do. Here's a brainstorm. Here's a conversation. You go and do that thing. I believe in you. And yeah, it's a lot of lead by example, a lot of trust, and things like that. But I would say, yeah, James has a very clear vision, and communicates that in ways that inspire people to just want to produce the best results and
Mm-hmm.
outcomes. And I've seen that from him in me for 20 years in different. I've worked with James in a few smaller projects off and on throughout the years, and it's always been I want to work for this person because they're working really hard and they are motivating me through their actions and through their trust. And it's been like that ever since I met him when I was 15 years old. Yeah.
That's great. Did you ever beat him at Flesh and Blood? Is it
Not once.
that good?
Never. Not
No,
possible.
Really?
not
No.
possible.
Is that good? Yeah. Or do you don't? Nobody dares win against him.
Well, I think the last game I played against James was 2019, when it was Welcome to Wrath format only. I was in an armory event at Hobby Master in Auckland, and I forgot my third copy of Lord of Wind. Um, so James said, "Oh, here you go. You can have this one," and it's still in my personal collection today. That particular Lord of Wind. Maybe that's why I like Ninja so much still to this day. But
It makes
I think
sense.
we played a few games that day, and I lost all of them.
Mm, yeah. We've seen the game grow so much in the past few years, and the game is as it's had an insane start. But we all know that card games tend to lots of card games die off after a successful start. Sometimes we don't see any signs of stopping with Flesh and Blood yet, but sometimes having a good game is not enough. So as a content manager, what do you think is key to make sure that the game keeps growing and keeps having an insane fan base like it has now? To make sure that it doesn't die
Mm.
off and that people don't leave, you know?
Yeah, well, people, the community, and the
Yeah.
people, and how can I put that? Just my personal observations, of course, would be we we know this is like a good game. It's an exciting
Yeah.
game. It's a captivating game. And with anything that people genuinely are into or passionate about, they want to tell people about that thing. Like when I find a great new coffee shop, I tell my friends about this thing. I share it with them. I make content I take a photo and I show the picture to my friends. So I think that one of the things that will continue to drive this game into the future is just people being genuinely excited and wanting to share their games, their ideas,
Mm.
their coverage. Um, and it's funny because I can't say like the company drives that, or I can't say people are going to do X, Y, and Z. It's just this organic undefined kind of phenomenon I see of people share what they love. And maybe we're very fortunate to be, well, at this time in time where the internet and videos and sharing and
Yeah.
and media is so easy to share. Because when other games first started, they couldn't share their content so quickly with so many people. So I think that's one advantage that we have is starting in this massively shareable digital age. And we're just really fortunate and blessed that people just want to do that. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things. One thing, I hope this doesn't come out the wrong way, but one thing that I believe that LSS does really well is just being genuine and meaning what we say and do. Like we'd never sort of sit down and say, "Okay, team, how can we make people love us?" You know, it's just we say what we mean. We try to make the best product that we can. Um, and if we send a message to somebody, maybe there's we used to write a lot of handwritten little notes and messages, but it's
Yeah.
very difficult now, not in the office. But I think, reminds me of what my mother always said to me when I was growing up, is treat people the way you want to be treated. And I also see that as be or produce what you want to see in the world. So I guess everything that we're making or doing is kind of what we would want as gamers, because almost everybody is that's working for the studio is or has been a very passionate and in many cases highly skilled game players. So yeah, I think it's just a case of making what we would want to see. It sounds sort of quite almost so simple. It's stupid, but I think it's just we're making what we want, what we would like, highest quality, good deep artwork, complex but hopefully not too confusing. Yeah, I think it's just putting in some time and effort and something like that.
Mm.
Something like that.
I was on a Fluke and Box's stream earlier today, and when I typed something in chat, he recognized my name and he was like, "Oh, their channel is so cool. You guys should go check it out." And I think that's really what you've managed to build as a community. You know, everybody is nice to each other, and all the content creators are encouraging each other and are making sure that other content creators are getting checked out. And that's I don't know if that's something that you planned on doing or if it's just a byproduct of what you said, that you wanted to make sure that you do what you want to see in the world, you know, produce what you want to see in the gaming world.
Yeah, like I hear so many people in the flesh and blood community saying, I can't believe how positive this community
Yeah, that's
is.
crazy.
Like, and I think that should be the minimum expectation of just people. Like, can you just be normal? Is being nice normal? But in a lot
But
of
it's not
game
easy.
communities,
Yeah. Because
yeah.
Pedro comes from the magic community. I think he can say that it's not always positive, and it's hard
True.
to manage to keep a community as benevolent toward each other. You know.
Well, nothing is perfect all the time. But yeah, like I hear so many people saying, "What? why are people not abusing each other? Or why is this not toxic? And, of course, like from the beginning, community has been, is, and always will be one of the absolute core tenets of Flesh and Blood. Like, yeah, it's in the name, meeting in the flesh and
Yeah.
blood, all that cool stuff. But I think, yeah, like you referenced, I think that also connects to the people who founded the company, who created the game, are very intelligent, compassionate people who see being kind and positive as normal and what they want to see in the world. So
Yeah.
I guess from the beginning, yeah, planting those seeds and just sharing positivity. Maybe it just comes through, hopefully, in each article or each announcement or each connection with the community. But I think yeah, like many things in life, um, people often follow examples rather than being people don't often do things that they are told to do, but if people see a movement rolling along, momentum usually builds for those things. And I think probably because of the vision and the tone of the company from the beginning, meeting people, community building, let's have fun, the
Mm.
Armory prize kits. Who is the superstar in your community? Give them this. Who is making a positive impact? I think, yeah, not so much a plan of we want people to be positive, but that's how we think, and we want to put that in all that we say and
Yeah.
do. So hopefully it's just a byproduct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
and
you
we're
said.
very,
Yeah,
very
lead by
fortunate.
example. So be nice, and people will be nice in the game you create, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same on the street. If you walk down the street and you
Mm.
smile at somebody, they'll probably smile back. And
That's exactly
that's
what I say to my boy every single day when he's
yeah,
making a sad face. I'm saying just spread joy, and you'll be happy too.
Yeah,
that's it,
same.
right?
You
That's
feel it?
exactly
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I tell to my son, if you want to manage your life, you need to be nice with people. That's the only quality you need to be successful.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
people always say, "Oh, I have been abused. I am too nice." You cannot be too nice. It's impossible. It couldn't mean the same sentence.
mm.
You cannot be too nice. It's impossible to be too
Mm.
nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty simple overall. Like it's sometimes it's more difficult to execute than to
Yeah.
think or to say, but yeah, just being kind is a good strategy.
Mm.
yeah, life is
Hmm.
much easier when you are not an asshole. It's a
Yeah,
lot,
yeah,
lot easier.
exactly. Mm.
I want to ask you about the lore. Do you put a lot of effort on the lore? Because I know it's really important for a lot of players. I am much more in the competitive side, and you are doing a great, great job. But I know a lot of people love the lore, and some heroes um, are being late to the party.
We
People
don't
want
know.
to
Yeah,
know
we don't know anything about them, and we want to know more. So
Well, to be honest, I know about as much as the lore as you do. But yeah, I agree. I have seen and heard a lot of people saying, I want some more lore, I want
yeah.
some more story. I know that we're getting a lot more lore in the classic battles
Oh yeah.
with Dorinthia and Rhinar coming up. So I imagine that we will learn a bit more about those two and that awesome upcoming product. Um, Apart from that, I know more lore is coming, deeper and more, yeah, just more. Because the story and the world building and the character building is so, so, so important. You can have the most beautiful
Yeah.
artwork in the world, but if you don't have an emotional or a personal connection or an understanding of who that person is, it can be a little bit difficult to really get engaged, I think. So, I want more lore too, and I know it's coming. But yeah, I wish that I could give you some, but we're in the same boat.
Okay.
Is there
I
a
even
no?
saw.
Vas-y.
Sorry, I even saw a fan fiction about Dash. People
Oh,
really
yeah.
want to know more about Dash, so they invented
They
themselves
invent the stories.
the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to know more about Dash too. You know, I hope nobody takes this the wrong way. This is the personal view of Christopher Richard Bewley, but the thing that first got me into card games was TV shows. Man, one day I think that would be exciting. As a possibility, that would be quite cool. But I don't know anything, so don't ask me.
Yeah, but I mean, the world is ripe for that because I mean,
Mhm.
anybody, if someone writes a half decent story about Bolton and his wife Arena fighting the shadows, I'm buying that. Whatever it is, a book, a series, a movie, I'm watching that. I'm buying that instantly. I'm buying the T-shirts. I'm buying everything. I mean, yeah, you know, the lore is so engaging. We want to see more. So
Yeah,
yeah,
a mechanologist and a ninja
yeah.
in the same team battling against the shadow. It would be
Yeah,
like
that's insane.
no
Yeah,
other TV show. It would be insane.
I know. I like. I wonder how many hours I have spent talking with friends and co-workers saying like this, like imagine a shadow
Yeah,
mechanologist,
but that's
or
yeah,
maybe there's some hybrid and you can do this, and that, you know, the imagination runs
yeah.
wild. So I know more is coming, and I'm so excited for
Yeah,
that too.
that would be so exciting because when my boy, so he's 9, and he always asks me when he's watching the cards hanging around on my desk, and he's asking me about the heroes, and sometimes I'm blocked because I don't know what else to say. I'm saying what I've read on the website, and I'm like. If only I had more stories about the heroes to tell him, maybe he'd. I mean, it would be an insane boon to the game.
Yeah, of course. There is the very rare, legendary, they often call it a book.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Is there any plan to
I think it
release
was
a version of it as to sell it to people who haven't had access to it? Maybe not the exact same version, maybe a lighter or less flashy version of it, but
oh yeah, so this
something
is
I can
the
hold and read about the game.
yeah, so we're talking about the I think it was the Retailer Appreciation Lore book,
Yeah.
right? Many pages, beautiful artwork, the most lore and story that we have put out there so far. And one of my brilliant co-workers, Nicola Price, had a massive part in the lore story writing of that piece there. Um, I have myself, I've had a look through most of it. I haven't read every page. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big book, right? Is that coming out in another form, in another way to be published? I don't know. But I would love to see that
You're not saying no.
in because I don't know. I'm saying I genuinely have no
Yeah.
information.
Okay.
But I think that that would be something that people would love, whether it's a physical book, an
Yeah.
online version. But yeah, like you guys, like a lot of the fans, I'm hungry for more stories. So I'll be waiting patiently for that too. Yeah, whatever form that comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, Roman, that the guess of the shadow mechanologist was a hint for the next extension? We're gonna title the video "The Shadow Mechanologist is coming." Maybe.
Shadow mechanologist. Don't shadows hang out in the demonastery area? I don't
Yes.
know. I have to read more lore myself.
Yeah. Everybody needs more lore anyway. Yeah, so I think that the interview is going a little bit longer than what I expected. So maybe we'll go back to some more rapid questions, so we don't monopolize all your morning. I want to come back to your passion for Marvel characters. I just want to show you because I've seen it and I don't know if you're an old school Marvel fan or if you recognize these
Is
guys.
that Stan, isn't it?
No, that's Jack Kirby.
Oh, wow, cool. Another
That's
writer. He's a
yeah.
writer, right? Or an
He
artist?
was the artist from one of the from the beginnings of Marvel. He created the Hulk. He created Captain America. He created all sorts of characters. And what's can you tell us more about your passion for comic books and for that kinds of stuff?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And how it
Well, yeah.
relates to your passion for the game, for the games and for gaming. Because I know
Yeah,
my
yes.
passion for comic books is really linked to my passion for games too. So I'm curious to know
Yeah.
how it relates to in your case.
Yeah, mine would probably be quite similar. Like I said, I started drawing X-Men when I was very young on the floor of my living room. But I think I started drawing them because I saw the X-Men on TV first. And then I found about comic books. I think, yeah, so this, oh, that's right. Yes, so it was my progression went watching X-Men cartoons to drawing them, and then just regular trading cards. Not games, but you just buy a pack
Yeah.
of X-Men cards. So when I was young, before played card games, I really loved basketball cards
Hmm.
and Marvel or X-Men cards. So collected a lot of those for a long time, and then on the back of the card, there's lots of information, and you learn all of this stuff. I think, and then after that, then the Versus System game came out, and then the internet existed. So I was just reading, learning about all of the history of these guys. As far as physical books, I collected a lot of Deadpool books.
Okay.
Deadpool's my
Cool.
man. The things I like about the comics, the art, the storytelling, the imagination. And I see that in Flesh and Blood too.
Yeah, the heroism and all the intense action and I wish we could see a comic book about the heroes too because I mean I
That would be
always come back
cool.
to that but I think it's the universe is ready for I mean the world the world of Wraith is ready for that kind of adaptation. It would be so cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all there, eh? It's
Yeah.
it's ready to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ready to burst. So, talking about the future a little bit, because we touched on the subject earlier. I don't know if we were recording the interview when we talked about it, but are you coming to the Pro Tours in New Jersey and
Well,
then in France? We don't know exactly where in France yet, but are you coming to see people to meet the community in Europe and in the States? Where can we meet you and
right
when?
now, I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I'm not going,
Hmm.
but I do know that my passport is ready. I'm ready. And that's where I'm at the moment. So the future is a little bit of a mystery, but I like a bit of mystery sometimes. So I hope that I can come, but at this stage, I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I really would like to.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because I think it's fair to say that the channel wouldn't be what it is right now. Lloydophilia wouldn't be what it is without your help. So I wanna. It's not only because you're there, but I wanna see that you've been an insane boost for the channel. So I wanna thank you publicly with our viewers and at home. Yeah, you've been the best. And I haven't done this job for like tens of years like some other people, but I've been a journalist for a long time, and it's the first time I'm seeing someone that's so helpful for content creators and for video producers or something like that. So I want to thank you again. And I think Pedro says the same on the
Yeah,
other side of the
thank you very
screen. Yeah,
much.
you're
Oh,
the
guys,
best.
that really means so
Yeah.
much to me. But and I, I truly, genuinely believe you guys would go to the top of the content and coverage space, no matter who was working in my job. So it's not really because of me, it's because of the quality and the passion and the work that you guys put in. But I'll take that and thank you. Thank you so much for your kind
Yeah, that's
words.
so cool.
Yeah, and you guys
Well,
deserve all of the success and likes, follows, and subscribes that you get.
mm.
Yeah.
Well, the
And a
plan is
huge
to
shout
the
out
plan
and
is
thank
to
you
ramp up
to
the
Aurelie
yeah.
too.
But the plan is to make as much content as possible in the next few months, because the game is coming in France and we want to be ready for the afflux of people coming into the game and to make more content. I wish I could do only that, all day create content for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to have a job, but maybe at some point I'll be able to do it. But that's thanks for the compliments. So Pedro, do you have?
You guys really are one of the best in the world, and yeah, keep doing what you're doing, guys, because yeah, whether it's English language, French, or anything else, you guys have made such amazing contributions to this space, and I hear positive feedback about you three all the time, and yeah. Thank you so much for all that you do for the French-speaking audience and for everybody.
Thank you. We need to thanks Aurélie with all the overlays she made.
She's
amazing,
doing
amazing
much.
work.
She's doing a lot in front of the camera, but she's also doing a lot in the background and with the video production. She hasn't been. She would have loved to be able to interview you with us, but she had an insane week last week. But she'll come back stronger next week. But
Can I say merci beaucoup?
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, Aurélie.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Chris, and I hope we meet you in France, or maybe somewhere else down the road. Maybe we'll come to New Zealand someday to do maybe a report about LSS, the LSS offices, or something like that. That'd be cool.
Oh man, we'd love to have you, and no matter where it is or when it is.
Well, at some point I'm gonna have to go to New Zealand, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, and that's one of my goals in life, is to travel in the Rohan Plains, and to ride a horse on the.
Oh, bro, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll take you on that proposition, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was so cool to talk to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pedro, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tim. Love your work and love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.